podcast. We're here on this podcast. We talk about the other side of business. Yes, we're going to talk about the highlights, but we're going to talk about the struggles, the stresses, the mistakes, the real journey to becoming a successful, business owner. I am excited to have my good friend, family here, Vanessa, the founder of Cosmetics, and I'm wearing her lipstick here, Ego. Okay, everyone. If you see me in red lipstick for the past 3 or 4 years since I started Miss Independent, I've been wearing Ego. My red lipstick is Ego, and it doesn't come off. It's the best, don't you, ladies? So, yeah. So I'm so excited to interview you about how you've managed to build this empire, because I've never seen anyone that I know build such an incredible brand, especially in makeup. And yeah, you've helped me so much. You've done so many talks at all of my events with my business, Miss Independent. But now I want to really interview you, Vanessa, and hear the nitty gritty story about how you've built Cosmetics. Are you ready?
I am ready. I think so. I am ready.
Okay, no, but it's so good to see you. Vanessa's joining us from Ghana. I'm so jealous. The rest of us are still in lockdown in the UK.
You see the wind blowing, is the fan, the windows are open because it is hot. The way it's hot today is not a joke. Like, it's hot.
It's hot. Your makeup is intact though.
Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Because really and truly, in about a couple of hours when I go out, it's not going to be the same.
It's not going to be the same. But it's okay.
Yeah.
But talk me through it. So Velo's Cosmetics, you are a makeup brand, Black-owned makeup brand. When I first met you, and when I got introduced into when you launched your company, I was like, no one is doing this especially in our community. I don't know anyone that's doing this out of their own money. We're seeing it more and more now, but like you were, for me, the first in our community, from the ground up, creating, testing your brand, your cosmetics. I've not seen anyone go through this process. So I want to know, talk me through, how did you launch Velo's Cosmetics? Talk me through the story.
Oh, but how did I launch it? If I'm honest with you, it started off really from a silly situation. I was going to go into a partnership with this person, and obviously that kind of got severed. But it really started by when I always tell everybody this story because it's such a silly story. When my dad thought I was smoking weed, like that I was a weed smoker. Because
why? So your dad thought you were smoking weed?
This man, like my natural, I have quite big hair, but my natural hair, I've dyed it blue, I've dyed it red. This man hasn't said a word, but when it came to my lips turning darker and darker, I didn't notice it because you see yourself every day and whatnot. And then I came back from the gym and he stopped me as I entered the house. I didn't even get inside that house like that. Stopped me and said, "Hey," and I said, "Oh, hi, Daddy," thinking that because I didn't greet him or whatever. And he goes, "Are you smoking weed? Tell me the truth. Are you smoking weed? You're either smoking weed or you're bleaching. Pick one." I said, "What is going on here?" And I was a dermatologist, and I was told that I have high consistencies of lead, and it's being consumed on my skin or whatever. And I came to learn that a lot of brands, be it high-end or even high street brands, they do tend to use metal, particularly lead, to achieve their color. So me even delving into makeup was just me experimenting. What the actual idea wasn't to actually launch a brand. It was just for me to get something that I could use without having someone ask me, "Am I smoking weed?" sort of thing. And then I was able to get in contact with some people that were at my sister's university, UCL, shout out to you guys, who were doing this and studying this. Well, they were studying engineering, but this was one of the girls' passions. And she was able to help me create lipsticks that became vegan. It wasn't intentional, that wasn't even the plan, but became vegan. And then we tested it out, in my house, stuff like my mom's cooking. I'm Ghanaian, so stuff like okra stew, stuff like katakon, stuff like jollof, and also tested it on my mom's skin. Like my mom is really dark and like she has a really nice, rich skin. And I found that especially when I used to go to MAC a lot, I had to do way too much to get lipsticks to show up on my skin, like filling in my lip with a lip liner, then putting a lipstick on top. I just felt like this is too many steps just to wear a color. So she was the test dummy and the guinea pig initially. So that's how it came about, and it went from lipsticks to eyeshadows. Now I have highlighters, body glows, like and it's been a journey.
I used your eyeshadow palette today as well.
Yeah.
Oh,
girl! Yes.
I am actually a fan. You know when people are like, oh, I just buy my own stuff. I'm like, no, I legit use it every time now. So
I love that. I love it. Oh, great.
I love it. No, I love it. It's great. It's great. It's easy to use. So this is how. So this just started as like from a funny thing, thinking that you smoke weed, all the way to actually building. So from lipsticks, highly pigmented lipsticks, great colors, which I love, and then like into eyeshadows and so much more. So it's just a little hobby that has turned into it.
It has really grown.
Yeah, so it has really grown. Like I do remember you saying, "Oh, I'm launching this," and then coming and speaking about it, and you just had a few colors, and now you have a whole range and so much more. But that sounds really easy. It sounded like an easy process. I want to know the struggle. The way you just said it sounds easy. And I was like, okay, just met up with some students and met up with this.
It was.
What were some of the struggles you had to overcome to get to this point of selling it?
The beginning, middle, and end. That is still not written yet. It was all a struggle. Everything was a struggle. Like I remember, what is even interesting is when it came to the eyeshadows, I remember being in uni, my last year of uni, when I was, when everything comes from like AliExpress or Alibaba, I was just playing around. I wasn't trying to create my makeup line, but I wanted like a nudes palette that I could just use for myself, nothing major. Yeah. And then, I think like 2.5 years later, Morphe had the same exact palette that they brought out. Yeah. I said, that was a liar. I was so angry. And like, when you almost want to, I actually wanted to start litigation against them. And I come from a family of lawyers, judges, these legal people that want to tell me what to do. And then an uncle just told me, it's not going to happen. You don't have a leg to stand on. And baby girl, I'm not free. So I was thinking, okay. Take it like that. But at that time, even though I'd gone through that, I still wasn't trying to make a cosmetics brand. But when it comes to the struggles, I think one of the main struggles that is close to my heart, there's been so many, but one that is close to my heart is that I felt as if when I was in London and I was starting, like I'm not an influencer or anything like that, I'm just, girl next door, whatever. It just felt as if I created something for everyone, don't get me wrong, but the people at the center of all of this, like what was in my mind when creating this was people of color, like was people that looked like me, that could get pigmented products that was kind of to our skin, that had vitamin E, jojoba oil, coconut oil, things that was going to benefit our skin. But at that time, it felt like I was kind of pitching to a brick wall. Like, I really wanted, I was doing so much, paying so much for ads, doing this, doing that, trying to work with people. And it just felt as if in order to work with people, I needed to have some sort of clout. Yeah. If that makes any sense. Yeah. And that was something that, it wasn't the biggest struggle, but it's the struggle that really has stuck with me, that it's become, and I think that even when you look at it right now, so many people with brands, be it makeup or anything else, they thrive a lot more when they have this huge social media platform or this clout, or they are somebody, and I think that was one thing that that really, struck a nerve. Yeah. And other struggles was the UK. The red tape you have to go through as a small business in cosmetics.
I was thinking about that, like especially cosmetics, things that are going on people's skins in this country. It's like anything, like I think anything you digest or goes on your skin is like one of the worst. It's one of the hardest businesses to start.
It is, but I feel as if there's just more of I feel like the government or the regulatory boards really have their thumb in smaller businesses. And when I look at bigger brands that do skincare and things of that nature that are in the UK, and I don't feel as if they go through or they have been through what I had to go through to put out one product. Like I was trying to put out this product for almost 2 years.
Wow.
Because of having to bring paperwork. That's where I sourced X, Y, and Z. And a lot of these things that I source, I'm not going to bring paperwork to tell you I saw something from my grandma or I saw something from my color market. Do you understand? Like I got to shave my, like it's not making sense. And it was like, I had all the testing, all the results and stuff like that, but I couldn't believe it. And it was such a drag. That is one thing that I feel as if, you know, small businesses that are in this sector that have to go through like skincare stuff, pharmacology things, it can be such a drag when all you want to do is do good.
Yeah, especially because yours is well researched. I mean, I know you've gone into further details about, like, you know, you actually went into labs and your sister studied, you know, all of these studied this like sort of chemical reaction. People don't actually know that you were there like helping mix.
Thank you.
You mix all the chemicals into it. You didn't just go, okay, that person's making the brand, I'm going to stick my label on it. You
literally
organically were part of the process.
Like I find that a lot of independent brands nowadays, like, you know, there are so many gorgeous babes, you know, bringing out, you know, lip glosses and this and that, and sometimes it is just put their name on it, bish bash bosh, you're done. But I have a specific ingredients list, like it's very specific, because I understand
in your makeup.
I know what's going inside it. I know the quantity, just because, like, I understand. Like, as I said, this makeup is for everybody. I really encourage all races to use it because I wanted inclusivity. But the people I was thinking about were Black women, women of color, because I see that our skin has a different reaction to certain things. So this is why I just kept feeling like I've gone through so much effort, I've done so much, and I want to share it with my sisters. Like, you guys got to enjoy this. And it's like, and the response that I got was like, yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
But I did realize that when they actually tried the product, it was like, okay, I get it. I get why you're making the noise, but I really wish that it didn't take for me to kind of create a circus or a frame. You know what I mean? Yeah.
To get to this point. Oh no. So I know, I love that. I really appreciate you actually explaining the struggles, and it just shows me that it's one, is possible. So you've opened the door for so many people, and two, that it's going somewhere. I feel like the biggest struggles will build the biggest empire. So it's going well so far. I'm seeing you doing so many incredible things, which we're going to talk about. But you know, I can see it's going to go well because of what you've done through, you know. But I like that, because a lot of people just see that it's simple. Okay, I can do it. I can stick my name on it. I could just go in a lab and make things. But they need to know there's a process.
There's a process. There's a lot of paperwork. There's a lot of legal things. A lot of accounting things. There's a lot of infringement, copyright.
Did your law degree help you a lot with this?
Oh, definitely. I was like, after the situation that I couldn't go up against a Morphe, I did everything to cover myself, because I would be damned. like I've known people who've had domain names taken, right?
Yeah.
And the person that, or whoever has the domain name will say, yeah, I'll sell it back to you for £5,000.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think, you'll die before that happens. So like, I try not to play games with it too much. Like, it is definitely is an uphill, I wouldn't say it's a struggle, it's an uphill battle, because in the end, by God's grace, like, you have a vision, you have a dream, and you want to accomplish it, but it's literally like daily encouragement. You have to pray about it, you have to encourage yourself, and you really do. And it's a burden that a lot of people, like your friends, have, and the burden is also your family members, because you really do rely on them to encourage you. And like, you've been there, Zoe, when I've just been like, this is it, baby, we're done. I'm not doing this no more. It gets a lot, and especially when you feel as if, like, the spirit of comparison, it comes into play when you start to compare your journey to somebody else's, and it just, as they say, as the young people say, because I'm over 25 now, as the young people say, the math is not mathing. It wasn't, you know. it was it used to really upset me like that. You know, I felt like I've done so much, but so and so has this amount of followers, and you know, these people are patronizing it. And but I thought, listen, in this life, like, everyone's journey is different, and at the same time, you can't. For what I've learned, I feel like I've only learned it in the last 6 months. So all these years I've been doing it, I didn't learn it, but just now learned it that you can't even waste your time with your eyes on somebody else's lane, because you will look at your lane and you'll realize that you've messed up your own thing, not focusing on what's going on. So.
Exactly. It's good to learn from other people, but like comparing. But what I like is that you're being real about it, because some people that I've interviewed and some people I've spoken to about business, like you said, I think it's a realization that comes in the journey. And I don't like it when people just say, well, I don't feel any comparison. I was like, you did. At one point something happened, and I like being real about that, because someone is listening to this and watching this and thinking like, you know what, I am struggling with comparison right now. I know that if Vanessa can overcome it, if Zoe can overcome it, I can then push through my business. But I don't like it when people don't admit that it's never existed in their journey at all. It happens. We compare ourselves sometimes, but we just learn how to not do it, you know?
Yeah. And it's difficult, because honestly, it can be one of the most, I think something that I wish we spoke about was the emotional struggle of it, because honestly, when you're starting something and you're doing it by yourself as well.
Yeah.
You are the administration, you are the person on the emails, you're every person, and you just want to see it flourish. You want 1 + 1 to equal 25,000. You want that. You know?
Exactly. And you are and even if you do hire help, like it's really hard. Like it's your everything. It's your brand. It's like you said. It's you put.
You have to know it.
You've done everything to get to this point. And when I know when people are like, "Oh, it's the same when you work in a job." I was like, "No, I worked in a job, even though I took ownership of my projects and I loved it. Like there's a different level of ownership when it is your money, your name on the line,
everything, like."
Everything.
And you feel like everyone's watching you, or especially in society today, it almost feels like, people are rooting for you, but nevertheless, you somehow, for some reason, you're focused on, I don't know if it's the imaginary people that are waiting for you to flop, or it's just really bad. Like mental health is something that I wish more people spoke about when it came to entrepreneurship, for sure.
Yes, it came up in one of my other interviews. I didn't think of it that way, because I also think, I know we're veering off topic, but I like the topic we're going on. I also think with mental health and talking about just like looking after your well-being as an entrepreneur, like we're just told, like this is why I want to change my page and my image to talk about this stuff on my to encourage other entrepreneurs to talk about it, because like you said, emotional stress it's high. I feel like it's heightened in entrepreneurs, and data shows it. We stress more, we cry more, we don't sleep. And then I almost feel like that is praised more. So when I go on, I've unfollowed a lot of pages that keep going, don't ever sleep. Why are you resting? Why are you, and you feel like, even though I'm reading the text, I feel like they're shouting at me. I feel like I'm on Instagram and they're shouting at me, why are you sleeping? You need to be making money. You need to be doing sales. Like that's all I'm seeing on these Instagram business platforms. And I'm just like, listen, I'm tired. I need a break.
You need a break.
And they never ever, only now I'm seeing 1 or 2 posts now coming out, like, have a balance, rest. But a lot of the entrepreneurs and motivational speakers, which turned me off for a long time, were just like, I don't get stressed. And I was like, yes, you do. We do. We get stressed more than anybody.
Exactly.
So yeah, no, I like that you've touched on it, that it's part of the journey. You've got to learn to manage it. So how have you learned? How are you learning to manage your mental health and well-being as an entrepreneur?
If I'm honest, I think for a long time I put the burden on other people, and I even apologize because, like, I used to put the burden on Dorcas. I used to call Miranda, and they'll be there like, no, Vanessa, like, look how what, like, they'll give you the pep talk, like, yeah, big chest, energy kind of thing. They give you all the talks, and they'll remind you of how far you. As if when you can't, when you have the end goal in mind, you can't even appreciate how far you've come or what you've achieved. And it got to a stage where, and I'll be honest, it got to a stage when literally, like I want people to take it as literal as possible. I could count the seconds of how long I'd be happy about something that's happening in my business.
Yeah.
Be it orders, be it wholesale orders, be it a celebrity wearing it. I could literally count the seconds in my head. Like I'll say, oh, that was 14 seconds that I managed to kind of stay in this moment. And it was becoming a lot. And I think right now, I just developed an F it attitude, like F it. I'm gonna die one day. I might as well go out doing every effing thing I want to effing do kind of thing. Because like I just like this comparison that really, really crippled me. But like honestly, being positive and kind of taking time out and realizing that if I want to take a week off just to get my head back in the game, it's better for me to do that so that when I come back, I'm on job, I'm doing amazing things as opposed to forcing it and being very half-hearted about it. So I just learned that at the end of the day, if I'm good, my business is going to be great. But if I'm not, then it's not. So the most important person to me is me, my mind. Yeah,
definitely. No, I agree with you, and I love that you're sharing that's a struggle that you've had to overcome, and how you're still overcoming it. Everyone that's listening to it, I hope you just learn that it's okay. You'll survive this, and that yeah, there's a way. But and like you said, the end goal in mind, we have to remember that it's a marathon. Like this, your business hopefully should outlive you. So if you achieve everything tomorrow, how are you going to guarantee like the sustainability of that business? So sometimes see those hurdles as a way of keeping you going.
Learning as well.
Yeah, as a way of keeping you going. So I love that. I love that. Were there, so you've touched on some mistakes, especially the legal stuff. Because you're a lawyer, I want to pick your brain on that. But what are some of the biggest mistakes that you probably made, making your cosmetics line, and what, especially people that aspire to be in your position, what do you think they should, like these mistakes, what do you think they should avoid? What are they?
I think I'm trying to think of ones that are very significant. I made very tiny mistakes here and there. Okay, this is a mistake that if you're going into e-commerce and you're going to, or even speaking anywhere that might require you to be around people to sell yourself or to sell products, please be selective about where it is you're going to speak or selective about where it is you're going to sell. It's not everywhere you need to go, baby. Not like it's not every event that is calling you to sell your products. It's not every event that's calling you to speak. It's not, because there'll be time you'll invest money in setting up your stand, setting up yourself, or marketing this, and then you go to the event and you don't get the return you wanted. Everything that you thought was going to be, it really isn't. So really try to start trusting your gut instinct, and nothing is a loss. Nothing. Even if that event that you said no to turns out being the greatest thing and so many people came, it's not a loss. It's going to be many more. But try to trust your gut instinct that really and truly you don't need to be at every single event at your own cost, because you feel like, oh, if I don't go here, I won't meet this much target. It's okay. There's going to be another one that you'll feel more confident about.
There's always another opportunity.
There's always another opportunity. God is so good like that.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. I love that. So definitely there's always another opportunity. It's not, I agree with you. You don't have to be everywhere. I remember when I started and I do a lot of speaking, I went to an event in like Nottingham. I'll never forget it. And I just, when it was so disorganized, it started like 3 hours late. And I was like, just because I was like, let me just go to Nottingham. And it just taught me so much. I had to run for I nearly missed the last train to London. I cancelled on like friends just for this event. I cancelled on friends and like I remember, and I was just like, never again, Zoe. Ask the right questions when you are going to
literally
take on an event or going to partner with somebody. Just because they're paying money, sometimes it's not even worth it. It's not even worth the time.
Facts.
So I agree with you on that one. Is there anything legally? Because I'm going to pick your brain legally. Is there anything legally that we need to get in place?
I think just make sure that when, as I said, it's talking from the place of e-commerce, right? There are two routes you can go down. If you want to go down the route of being a registered private company,
Yeah.
You can do that, or you can be a sole trader. Now, I remember in the beginning, my aunt said, do you not want to be a sole trader and stuff? Like, being a sole trader is great because it's just you. You don't need to register you don't have to do
You
too
don't have
much
to
on the
do
other
too much
end.
paperwork. Yeah.
Yes. But then this is my thing. And I said, my brain, I'm thinking of the legal things, the facts and figures. I was thinking, okay, so if God forbid, touch every kind of wood there isn't anything like that. But if my business was to go bankrupt, that means I'm bankrupt if I'm a sole trader. So for me, it was more so about allowing my business to be a separate entity that I could kind of leverage when I wanted to go into other things or invest in other things. I didn't want to be Vanessa is right here in my pocket, like, and then should anything, get messy, it's me that kind of bears the brunt of it. I'd rather it be the business. So that's what I would say. Like, I would say that if you are going to have an e-commerce business, and if you do want it to be consistent, you're going to be consistently on the business in that regard, and you want to grow it and upscale it, definitely do not do sole tradership. Just register it as a business. Even if there is more paperwork, you protect yourself, you protect your own personal credit score as well by doing it that way. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. I agree with you. I think that's one of the things that, especially now, I talk to a lot of girls and like, I want to be my business, I want to be my own business and be my own boss, etc. And I'm like, I'm all for it. I love the boss, the hustler mode that we're talking about. I just want people to be well informed that there is a legal side to things. You've got to, and this is the basic and the basic. How are you going to register your company? And it's not taught in schools, obviously. And even when I go through programs for young entrepreneurs and stuff like that, it's not even taught then. A lot of the girls, mentor people. I'm just like, have you thought about how you're going to register it? And they're like, what's that?
Didn't even think about it. What's that?
And I was just like, have you registered it? Do you have even a separate bank account for your stuff? It has to be separate to you. Even if you're a sole trader, it's always good to keep your money separate. And again, they just say, no, I've got my products I'm selling. And I'm like, you will hit a big roadblock and HMRC will for you.
Seriously, yeah. Literally. Like her HMRC.
The brown letters are not fun when they're coming for you. The brown letters are not fun.
I say just get a great accountant. Get a really good accountant as well.
Every entrepreneur, I said the same thing. Every entrepreneur I've interviewed has said, top tip, get a great accountant. Just get a great accountant.
One that is just every angle covered. Like they even get it done before you even say anything. Yeah.
Get an accountant. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Thank you for saying that, reiterating it to them. But I wanted to say, okay, right. This is another funny thing. Like, I always feel like entrepreneurs never ever talk about their embarrassing moments. Like, we all just do motivational touching speeches, and we just go, yeah, I struggled a little bit, but now I'm here. And I'm like, did you just embarrass yourself a little bit? I want to hear the humor of you. So have you had an embarrassing moment?
Have I had an embarrassing moment? I don't even know. Because I'm a bit silly anyway, so I feel like even if I have had an embarrassing moment, I'm laughing with people. So I don't know. Oh yeah, okay.
Okay, I'm ready.
So there was this. I can't remember what the show was called, like an event. And you have your stand, everything is set up, the backdrop, everything is just lights. This. Oh, child. There was one time when the lights just fell, everything just fell down. Like all of a sudden, and people are watching me because they're waiting for you to speak about something. And it was like I'm talking and I'm watching the things fall, and people trying to like tidy up around me. And it just felt like, oh God, just follow me now. Let the earth just swallow me.
So you were doing a speech about your business.
You understand? Like just a quick talk about who you are, what this is, and things are just down.
How did you react in that moment?
I think I was annoyed. I think I was just more so annoyed. I don't think I was even embarrassed. I was just annoyed. Like, I don't think I was even insulting the things, these inanimate things. I was like, what kind of nonsense is this? What are you doing? But look, I'm talking to the things as they're falling, like when afterwards. But I think, I don't think I was embarrassed. I was just annoyed. I don't think I have a really embarrassing moment. I don't know. aside from that,
I'm just thinking like how even in a sticky situation like that, like the fact that you're saying you had to keep on going, things happen.
yeah, I was like, this is it. Here we are.
And people,
That's it. You take it like that. And my mom said, you just take it like that. This is how it is. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I love it. I just think it makes people feel more human. Like mistakes happen, we get embarrassed.
It's humbling. It's so humbling because definitely, in the London community especially, or like in the UK community, sometimes no matter how humble you are, you'll get into a place of me, I am, check me out kind of thing. But then when these things happen, it lets you know you're human, and today embarrassment will fall upon you. So yeah, relax.
You're still a human being. You don't need to act up and act higher than thou. Yeah, no, these things humble you. That's why I like talking about them. I like talking about them. But what are you most proud of in your journey?
Honestly, I think I'm proud of me. Not like in any kind of braggadocious way. I'm really proud of how I stuck to this journey because as though every fiber of my being wanted to create a daily.
I think we need to touch on that because I have it. I think at least once a week. I tell you, still to this day, at least once a week, and I admit to people, I have a moment of what am I doing? Like, what am I doing? Why am I doing this?
Really? And this African accent auntie appears in your head. Your mates are, pursuing the legal career. Your mates are pursuing their this one.
Yeah.
Why are you? And like, yeah, I'm really proud of myself. But not because it was me that did it, but because, like, as I said, surround yourself with people who really, really do have your best interest at heart. Not just your business interest, but you. Like, they really, like, they want you to succeed as much as they want themselves to succeed. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And believe that in this world, this one thing I've come to that in this world, everything that you're doing right now may not end with you doing this in the end. But it may open doors to something so much more grander than you ever conceived. You know what I mean? Like, and really believe. I don't want to go into preaching hallelujah, but really believe, like, truly have it in the core of your spirit that God really has a plan for you far, far bigger than you understand. And so I like to say, in the words, as in Snoop Dogg voice, I want to thank me for being proud of me. Well, honestly, I want to thank everybody around me for ensuring that I.
But thank you. I like that. No, there's nothing wrong with it. Thank you for putting all this hard work, like Snoop Dogg was saying. You doing the long hours, you putting up the money.
That's true, but honestly, I really I can't even stress enough how much I thank my friends, how much I thank my family, how much I want to even I have to thank my mom. This woman, I know we all are moms, but I've never known a human being like her in my life. Like in all honesty, not my mommy. She's my mommy. That's my mommy. But like I looking at her and her mentality she is phenomenal woman, like personified, and like I thank her so much. I thank my sister so much as well.
How has your mom helped you?
My mom, like, she'll see me. I'm one person when it comes to finances. No one will ever know my finances. What you see is what you will know, kind of thing. So I think growing up, I was very financially savvy from a young age, and I don't know where that came from. Especially when it comes to investment stocks, so I was just very interested in that. And because I was like that, I would be very observant about my spending, and I'd only spend if I really, really want something. I never spend if I just like, kind of thing. And with my business, she even gave me, I remember I was putting in my whole paycheck. So my paycheck will come in, that whole paycheck will go out into my business, kind of thing. And she saw that I was doing that. She goes, hey, like, we need to take time, slow down. And I'm one person, if I'm in the zone, it's tunnel vision. I want to get there as quickly as possible. So I'll sacrifice whatever to get there quicker. And she was just like, no, Vanessa, here's some money. And then another minute, here's some money. Like, and I'm thinking, what are you doing? And I used to kind of tell her off and be like, no, I'll go to the bank and say, can you reverse that transaction and can you put it back into this account? And she'd get angry. And but she'd always tell me, Mommy, like, in this world, God has this. I don't want to go become so preachy, but there's a verse in the Bible that says, you can do, or I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And with her, she's really taught me that God said all things. Like, it says all things. It doesn't say you can do one thing that you put your mind to at a time. It says all things. So for me, she just allowed me to understand that, God forbid this doesn't work out, but this is not all that you've been put on this earth to do. So don't feel like you're never, and she, like, I used to tell her, Mommy, I feel like I failed. And she said, how can you that I birth ever be a failure? Like, she's affirmations.
She really pushes you, and also she invested in you. Like, you know, if you do have it, parents, do all you can to invest in your kids. Like,
well, I hated that. Like, I'm one person.
Money.
Yeah, it was different for me to receive investment kind of thing. So it was so great for her to do that. And she's not like Mom is not a pamper princess. She'll tell you how it is, but positively, like, you're not a failure. Come on, hurry up, stop being silly. Like, let's do this kind of thing. And yeah, I just appreciate her so much. And watching how she is with money, she's like me. You'll never know what's in her accounts, but as soon as you need the cash, she'll be there with the check. And I'm like, where did this? What's going on?
Yeah, I love that, like, mother to daughter thing, because a lot of people don't have it, but it's good to see other women, like women, because we tend to always shy away. Well, I wouldn't say always. Let me not put any generalization there. But statistically speaking, they have said in the past, women tend to be very good with money, but we don't share we don't share too much those secrets. But she showed you by example. And also, it shows you by example what to do with your money. And I think that's what we should do more of. Show other people by example, share the knowledge, which you're doing today. So what would be your best bit of advice to someone who's aspiring to start their own cosmetic line? What would be your best advice? If I can limit it to just one.
If you're going to do it, do it on a level 1,000. You can't do this half-heartedly, because you're going to get half-hearted results. And Zoe, you taught me that. I remember you said that to me one time. Yeah, and it was a very, very what's it called? It was a humbling moment because I felt like I was getting told off.
Oh, I went into one of those modes. Sorry, people. When I'm here quitting,
I think we were sitting outside this I don't know if it was a cafe, but we weren't getting food or anything like that. We were just chilling for a bit. And we're like, if you're gonna do something, do it 1,000%. Otherwise, you're gonna get a half-hearted result. And it was this kind of vibe, like it was this kind of in your face, and it hit me like I can't be. Because I was really giving into fear so much, fear of failure, fear of being on a platform where people can see me fail, and fear, and just myself being ashamed. And you were just like, if you basically, it's not I've always thought, but just hearing it is almost just one piece of advice. If you're going to do something, do it to the best of your ability. And I used to have this phrase in uni whereby do all you can to get the best you can, because in the end you'll have peace, even if it doesn't go your way. So with business, do everything you can, give everything you have, so that in the end you'll either get the result and more, or even if it doesn't go your way, you have so much peace to know that I did that to the fullest.
Yeah, you tried your best.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm glad that. So thank you for passing on, reminding me.
That
I can be like that though, people. If you ever to me about you're gonna quit, or I think especially as I'm one of those people, if you're back and forth, I'm like, okay, cool. There's try, get what you need to do done. But like, you can ask my sisters. I'm very like, decide today.
I learned that day. I'll be honest with you.
Or the other.
I'll never forget it. I did it. Yeah, I'll never ever forget it. I'll never forget it, because I was like, oh wow, she's not nice to me. Like, I'm also like, oh, she's like really down. Like, okay, love. But yeah, but it was necessary. It was very necessary.
Love. I believe in your brand. I've always believed in your brand. Always. And that's why I'm excited to have you here and excited to have you to share all of this knowledge. So what's next for V Lace? You're in Ghana, but it's still international shipping, etc.
International shipping. I'm trying to do a campaign here, but I want to wait until I want it to be to come out in summertime. Ghana is very hot right now, guys. It's not normal hot either. Like, the heat is crazy. So I just want to have fun with it, and I'm done taking it so seriously. Not like I don't want it to grow, but I'm done being so hard on myself, because that's what I used to do too much. So I just want to be creative with it and let it flow, and I'm realizing that things are really flowing. When you're positive, it sounds so cliche, but when you're positive and you expect good things really do come.
Oh, love that. I love that. So I'm excited to see this campaign. I hope everyone is excited to support and see it as well. So I always end the podcast with my guests asking me a question on the spot. So I want you to ask me a question. I don't know what it is.
Okay.
And I have to answer it.
Yes, you did. Okay, I want to know, where did the idea of this podcast come from?
Where did this idea? Do you know what? It came from, I would say the actual podcast. I've always wanted to do a podcast because you know me, I like to talk. I actually do. I love talking. I love to talk. And so let me keep it quick. So 3 different things. I love to talk and I'm always giving somewhat advice. I always find myself in a role. My business, Miss Independent, is all about giving advice, it's about career advice. So I'm always giving some sort of advice. And especially the pandemic, loads of people starting side hustles and businesses. I was just getting so many phone calls. Hey Zoe, so how did you get started? Hey Zoe. And it was always like the secret stuff that no one wants to talk about. So it was about, how do I legally get started? How much money does it take to get started? What do I do, like marketing wise? How do you keep going? What if you're stressed? Comparison. And I was thinking, why are you not secretly coming up to me, but then you're posting like, yeah, everything's great, everything
is great.
So I realized, you know what, I love to talk. People are coming to me for advice over the pandemic, and I'm saying the same things over and over and over again. So I was like, oh, okay. And then I realized that I just started to see that there's gap in the market of, you know, business advice, but no one's talking about this stuff, like the struggle with legal work. It is hard to get your paperwork in order. How do we get over it? It is hard to get over comparison. You know, you stop telling people, just get over fear. It's hard, you know, like it's hard to not be fearful. So I just wanted to bring to reality, like real life, like what entrepreneurs really go through. But it's okay. So if you are fearful, it's okay. All of us felt fear, and we're still feeling it, but we're still doing it. So you can do it too.
Yeah.
All of us everyone has had a struggle with legal work that I've interviewed so far. Somewhat, it never went smoothly. So if you had a struggle, it's okay. They've had it too, and they've made it. So I just wanted to show people that your struggle is normal. Loads of people have gone through it, and you can do it too. So that's the side of like the business side of it, and hopefully it will evolve into more type of business advice. And then the blazer, I don't know if you see me, probably have. I love blazers. Like I have insane blazer collection, and I've been collecting it. I don't know, it came from just wanting to feel confident every time I did stuff. So, and whenever I put on a blazer, I'm like, what? I'm like, you know,
you got the boss. Yeah.
So amazing. Like this is one of my favorite blazers, this blue one. Oh my gosh, I love it. But yeah, my blue blazer, oh my gosh, like I just feel confident in it. So I just was like, you know what, business, blazers, put it together. So yeah, that's really it. That's the concept. Love talking about business and giving business advice. And then wearing blazers is an obsession. I'm actually afraid to tell people how many blazers I have, but you know,
like that.
It's like that. I some people collect trainers, some people collect trophies. Me, I collect blazers. Sorry, yeah. So everyone knows what to get me for my birthday, for Christmas.
I like that.
But yeah, thank you for that question. Thank you for that question.
Okay, I get it now.
But keep shining, Vanessa. This has been a really insightful conversation, and I hope we're gonna have part 2 when I come to Ghana.
Oh, come through! Oh yes.
I want you to. I think we'll change it up. I want you to teach me some sort of makeup tricks, and let's see some of your stuff. So it'd be nice to see some of the stuff in you know, show it to the camera as well. So I'm excited to do part 2 with you. But I'm really proud of you, and I love what you're doing. And keep going, man. Don't quit. Don't quit.
Thank you so much.
Love it. Thank you so much, Vanessa. And yeah, everyone tune in again next week.
Bye.